So today I wanted to just come to you guys while I was getting dressed, getting ready for the day. I'm actually doing a wear test of the Perfect 10 foundation. So I will link that down below. But as I'm getting dressed, I just wanted to chat with you guys because there's so much going on right now in the world, and I'm just like, man, like, we have to address some of this stuff and not necessarily address it and point fingers and say you did this and you did this and this is your fault and this is your fault, but honestly address it in a manner of how we can overcome what's going on, things that we can't control, and then also like just learn from it, how we can get better from it. So I am gonna do my makeup and just chat with you guys about, yeah, the struggle right now, and just, I don't know, my thoughts on how we can just overcome from it as a person, as a society, as a whole. So just keep watching, guys. So I think we're like 30 days into the government shutdown. It's like the longest government shutdown in history, or ever, or lately, last couple years. I don't know, guys. I'm really not a history buff. I actually hate history. Not hate history, but the class. That's not me. But this one is pretty significant, and it doesn't seem to be stopping. It doesn't seem to be going anywhere. I know people personally who are affected. And then the weird thing about it also is that it's partial. So there's some people that are getting paid, some people that are not. So when I went back to work after the holiday, I was like, oh, I'm sorry, are you guys good? I work in a hospital, but I work in an army hospital. I was like, are you guys good? Is everyone good? Just trying to check on my folks, right? And they was like, oh, we're good. We can pay. We're essential or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. So, I can't be mad at that. So I really don't know who is getting paid and who is not. But the fact of the matter is there's so many people out there who day-to-day life is being affected. They're not getting paid. They're not able to feed their children. And not everyone comes from a family where you can just ask and borrow and people can help you supplement, so a lot of people are just on their own trying to figure it out. There is no assistance. I say try Uber. People think it's crazy, but that's a great supplemental job that you can do to try to get something in your pocket, a little something. Uber or Lyft, man. But, so many people are affected, and I can't personally say because I am not affected in the way that other people might be, but I can say, just having gone through things, that I can only imagine if this is the worst thing that a lot of people have ever had to go through. And I don't want to be all religious and go there. But people who do believe in God are at this point truly put in a position where they have to believe that he will provide for them, because it's almost 30 days without any income. So that's no gas money, that's no food money, that's no rent money, that's nothing, like absolutely nothing. And I was streaming last week. I actually didn't stream this week because I'm trying to get out of here. But the pastor was saying, and let me pull out my little notebook so I'll say it right, but it says, your deepest pain brought you your biggest joy, your greatest joy, the most joy. And that truly resonated with me, only because I know that things that I've personally gone through things that hurt the most, things that were the hardest for me to get through, were the things that later on down the line brought me the biggest joy. So I could say heartbreak, but then you have children from that. I have children from heartbreak. And they are absolutely, definitely, it's a little dark. It's a little, that's not part of the thing, so I'll just keep going. My children absolutely brought me my greatest joy. I could say being at a place that was rock bottom for me. So I lost my job, I lost my home, I lost my car, I lost everything. So being rock bottom for me brought me my biggest joy because it allowed me to truly get to know myself and put me in a situation where I never wanted to be again. And in doing so, I started making decisions that were better. I stopped being so hasty in my decisions and making decisions about things that were only going to benefit me for the now, but then cause sorrow later on. You know, there's so many things that I decided to do in my early 20s that I've had to explain later on in life to people who meant things to me, especially my husband, poor guy, because I was being hasty, and it was a situation that was good for the right then and now. And I didn't think about the consequences of later, you know, how this would affect me later, how this would affect my life or the person that decides to be in my life forever. So, but, you know, even though those situations were hard, it also blossomed an opportunity for the person who would come and would love me to love me through anything, or love me for who I am and not how I look on paper. And that meant a lot to me. So I can truly say that my biggest pain has brought me my greatest joys. I can truly say that I am the person that I am today because of going through heartbreak and sorrow and not knowing where my next meal was going to come from. You know, my hardest time was, I was 25. I had a 6-month-old and I had a 7-year-old. And, you know, my relationship ended. So I moved out of the house that we lived in together and started over. And at the time I wasn't working. I had been laid off, so I was getting unemployment while I was pregnant. It's not bad. I was getting unemployment while I was pregnant. So I had to go back to work because now I'm the sole provider. I had to find something that hours would work for me. I had to find something quickly to move into because my relationship ended abruptly. Well, to my knowledge, it was abruptly. I didn't know that it really wasn't that abrupt. But, you know, I had to start over with nothing, from nothing. And I really didn't have anyone who could help me get on my feet. Like, my mom helped me find an apartment. It was a place that she used to stay in, that she was still pretty close with the person who ran it. So I was able to, you know, easily get in there, find something, you know, super quick. But that was it. I had to find a job. I had no car because the car that we bought together was in his name because he was working at the time and I wasn't. So he took my car. And granted, the next day the car broke down. So, but you know, that is what it is. But he took my car, our car. I had 2 children and I was in a 1-bedroom apartment. So I gave them the bedroom. It's 2 boys. I gave them the bedroom and I slept. I got a $99 futon from Walmart. The hardest thing I've ever slept on in my entire life. And I slept on that. I took a job at a daycare. And I can look at the pictures now and know exactly how I felt in that moment. No, I can still feel the tears that are coming in that moment because that's something I never wanted to do. I ain't gonna say I don't like kids, but I am not the teacher, daycare worker type of person. I remember working one day and a little girl flew through saying at me, and there was nothing I could do. It's not my child. It's not my family. You know, it's someone that I'm working with, you know, threw dirt at me. And there was nothing that I could do. And I just felt so small in that moment. I felt like life had completely betrayed me. I felt I had hit rock bottom. I remember crying, and you know, like, not just like little tears, like in the shower, TV, extra dramatic drama, just sitting on the floor, boo-hooing, because I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know where my next meal was going to come from. I didn't know if I would be able to continue to take care of my children. You know, at the time, I was doing it completely by myself. No one was helping me. I had no idea if things would turn around. I was at rock bottom. I was making, I can't even say it. I was making $8 an hour. $8. I remember saying, man, if I could just make $1,000 in a month, then I'll be able to pay all my bills. But $1,000 in a month, then I would be able to pay my bills. I would be able to keep my head above water. So that lets y'all know that I won't bring it at home. It was bad. It was terrible. And then you go to try to get some assistance, right? And they say, oh, well, in order for you to get food stamps or this or that, you got to put your children's father on child support. And you're like, now I'm not ragging anyone who puts people on child support. That's not my business. But for me, I really don't like processes. I really don't like court. This is good, Renee. Renee, this is good. I really don't like processes. I really don't like court. I don't like any of that. So I opted not to. I feel like a person should take care of their children because they are their children and not because someone forces them. So I never put either of my children's fathers on child support. You know, I didn't. It wasn't the decision for me. So there's your assistance right there, Renee. So now what are you gonna do? So I worked at a daycare, so I was actually able to get a discount for childcare. I picked up the evening shifts that nobody wanted. I drove the bus. I went and picked kids up from school in the bus. I did all the stuff that I never wanted to do for $8. I didn't get a nighttime differential. I made $8 an hour. And I worked till midnight sometimes because it was one of those daycares where the parents, you know, it was like 24 hours. And I would go home and I would cry and cry and cry. And I would do it again the next day. You know, and I'm not gonna say that was when I stopped making bad decisions. It's not. And I'm not gonna say that every decision that I made after that was bad. You know? You know, I got a job. I actually interviewed because, you know, I had a pretty good resume. I was in banking before, you know, but I would just leave. Like I quit a good job. I was working at a bank and I quit because I wanted to go back to school. You know, that was always my desire. I wanted to be in the medical field. I wanted to do that. I knew that these jobs that I was doing were not jobs that were for me. I knew that was just like a fork in the road for me. But because of that desire, I would quit. I would quit jobs, which is not good. I do not recommend quitting a job for a dream. And I know that's so harsh to say don't quit a job for a dream. I say, you know what? I'm gonna work on my dream, but I'm gonna keep this stability right here. And then when my dream becomes a reality, then we can go from there. And that's what I learned from that situation. But yeah, from 25 to 20, I want to say 25 was my hardest hit age because I had plans what life was going to look like for me. And it did not go as planned. That was the year that my life completely turned upside down. But that is also the year that I learned all about Renee. I stopped dating, I stopped taking people seriously. You know, I just worked. I got to know myself. I got to sit down and say, okay, so what do I really like? What do I really want? What's my true favorite color without anyone else's influence? What is my, you know, what do I like to do? What do I like to do? What do I like to eat? How do I like to spend my day? You know, I got a chance to get to know myself. What am I going to take and what am I never, ever, 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 ever in life going to take again? You know, how am I choosing to react to this? And I allow myself to heal. Heal from life. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that situation happened in my life. And I know that's crazy to say, but I would not be the woman that I am today had I never experienced heartbreak, had I never fell, had I never experienced rock bottom, had I never not known where my meal was going to come from or how I was going to feed my children, had I never experienced someone saying, I don't want you no more, you know, had I never experienced someone or people not being able to help me, not being able to assist me, not being able to put themselves in a bind to get me out of one, I wouldn't be the woman I am today. I promise you. Because I was spoiled. I'm still spoiled. I'm still spoiled, but life has spoiled me. I was good. You know, I always had a decent job. I've always had a decent job. I've always had a place to stay, to call my own. I moved out when I was 19, and me and my son have been on our own ever since. I've always had my ducks in a row. I might not have had a lot of money in the bank, but I was able to pay the things that I needed to. And yeah, so life was good to me. And because life was good to me, I needed life to kick me in my behind for me to become the fearless, unwavering woman that I am today. I don't take no, none. None. And I'm always looking to grow. I'm always looking for that next step. I'm always looking for that next thing. I actually evaluate what I'm going through and how I'm going to get past it. Here comes Dylan, guys. And if situations are presented to me, I don't just jump and react like I used to. I actually think about it long term, how it's going to work for me. That sorrow and pain and hurt and heartache that I felt at 25 helped push me and break me out of the boundaries in the little box that I was in, and forced me to become this amazing woman that I'm turning into now. And that's what I'm saying. So many people are going through the hardest part of their life, the hardest moment they ever will have to go through. But this moment is what's going to propel them into the next phase of who they are. When I look at myself, I don't even recognize her sometimes. When I compare who I am today, deep down, inbred, this crazy, outspoken, unwavering, always figuring out a way to get through a situation woman that I've become, and I look at pictures of old girl back then, you know, I don't even recognize, they're not the same person. That sorrow and pain that I went through propelled me into who I am today. It forced me, it broke me down, it broke all the boundaries, all the walls, all the everything. It made me get to know me, Renee, and decide I'm never going through this shit again. Ever. And I can say yes. I was in another bad relationship after that, abusive relationship, mentally, emotionally, damn near physically. And I was just like, okay, it's time for you to go. This is not right. This is not right for me and my life. So you got to go. And I didn't cry. I didn't weep. I didn't mourn that relationship. I was just like, that shit wasn't right. Like, that was not for me. That was a test. That was not for me. And now I'm in this happy, healthy relationship with this person who I know is my forever. So it's not always gonna turn right around right then and immediately snap right back into what you think it's gonna be. But it's what you do, how you do for yourself. Because even that next terrible relationship, it was my house. It was my car. It was my place. You know, I had gotten to a place where everything was mine. I was trying to help somebody else out. You got to get out if you don't know how to act up in here. So, you know, it wasn't anything that would interrupt or disrupt my livelihood or my lifestyle, because I had become independent in my emotions. I stopped allowing people to affect my emotions. I became independent in my finances. I became independent in my life. I realized that life is way too short to give people the power to affect you in those areas. It's good to have someone come in. I love being married. I love, you know, having my husband and having him here with me, but my emotions are my own. My finances are my own. Now, yeah, we gonna come up together, you know, our house is built together, but Renee still got a bank account. You know, we keep it so that our independence is not affected completely. Yes, I'm your wife, but I'm also Renee, and people can see that. So I'm just saying, look, guys, I know it's hard. I know things are crazy, and there's so many things I can't talk about because I wear this uniform, but they're gonna get better. And use it as a way to better yourself, to grow, to get out of the four walls that you were in, the boundaries, the walls. Just stop being complacent. Realize, okay, so this happened. These dudes ain't paid me for like 2 months. So you know what? I need to find another source of income. I've been thinking about starting a business. I've been thinking about doing this. I've been thinking about doing that. Let me go ahead and start. So next time, if the next time happens, I'll have some residual income coming in. I'll have money coming from somewhere else, because this can't be it for me, because no one should be able to take my livelihood away. That's all I'm saying. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna go. That's all I had to say. It was a lot, right? But I'm gonna finish my makeup and get out of here because I'm supposed to be couponing today. So thanks, guys, for watching this. I really hope it helped someone, and you know, just touch that one person who this situation is like really affecting. I'm sorry. My heart goes out to everyone affected. I truly wish I could help in some way, but just hang in there. You got this, and start thinking about how you can never put yourself in this situation again. So thanks, guys, for watching. Please like and subscribe.